Scorpio, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on the description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. And I believe I have the deck being used in there as well. If not, I'll make sure I have that. Ooh. So one card flipped over. We'll take it. Scorpio, you are hoping to let something go. Ooh. You are hoping to let one thing go and you fear what you might lose in the process. It's kind of like, okay, so here, the fives are all about uncomfortable change. And here you have the Five of Cups. You see these three cups are spilt and that's where his focus is. And he's not paying attention to these two full cups behind him. If you can see that clearly. So this card is about remorse. And if you linger in remorse for too long, if you hold on to the past for too long, or something has let you go or gone from your hands and you choose not to let it go, you can get stuck in that energy. But you have the world with that. Okay. And the world is literally about not being stuck in an energy. It's about really taking the time to learn the lessons. So it feels to me like you are hoping to really let go of something that's been lingering just a little bit for way too long. Like you've been stuck in this energy. It's almost like your head knew it wasn't good for you, but your heart still kept yearning for it for a lot longer than you felt was necessary. The fear is that you might move on too quickly without gathering all the information. So there's that hope of the hope that your heart has, you know, because your head knows this is no good for you and you're actually trying to let this energy go so you can just close out that chapter of your life. But there's a fear that says, well, what if I do this one thing? Or what if I don't have all the information right? Or what if I move on and then it turns out I needed that person? It's those what ifs that you're fearing the most. The reality of the situation is that there was a huge loss of passion in this connection, okay? There was no more room for new growth. The whatever happened ran its course and you tried to hold on to it for a very, very long time to the point where you became a little bit resentful and a little bit defensive. Okay. Scorpio, to me, it feels like this is something you need to cut ties with and move on. Lots of different people have lots of different theories on the best way to do that, but there's just this little hope inside of you that you can get back what you once had, and the reality is telling me it'll never be the way it was before. So if you can't accept it the way it is now, it just may not be for you. Okay. So this is the Machiavellian approach. This is the chess player of the deck. This is a means to an end. This is the person who strategizes exactly what they need. This is the Hangman. The Hangman is about a new perspective, except you have it in the inverse. So it's almost like you're stuck. Again, you're stuck on this idea of if I only do this one thing, maybe I can turn this situation around. The Hangman the Hangman is also about sacrifice, so in the inverse, it's about lack of sacrifice. So if what I get from this is I get a Scorpio of two minds, okay? There are some days where you're like, I'm ready to cut this off, I'm ready to move forward, I'm feeling really good, I'm just gonna go. And then there are other days where you go back and forth saying, well, what if I just do this one thing, but I'm not willing to sacrifice? Well, what if this one thing happened? What if this person said this to me? Because I'm not going to say it to them, you know? So it's like, it's almost like you have 3 or 4 good days, and then you have one day where the situation just gets stuck in a loop in your head. And you kind of hope it'll come back to you, but you want it the way it was, not the way it is. Yeah. So you have the Nine of Swords in the upright, which is, this is the type of anxiety that makes you lose sleep at night. And then you have the Nine of Cups in the inverse, which can sometimes be looked at as codependency almost, you know? So it feels to me like, well, let's talk about the Nine of Cups really quick. So this is the card of stress. This is the card that keeps you up at night. This card right here, the Nine of Cups can be about, you know, feeling good and comfortable within your environment, feeling like you're good with what you have, and you're willing to share. In the inverse, it's like, I have to have this one more thing in order to be happy, and that's what's keeping you up at night. And you're hoping that somebody else will come in and bring you this thing. But somewhere deep down inside, you know you have to go find that thing for yourself, Scorpio. So this energy, this person, this whatever it is that you're dealing with, that you want the separation from, the key to separating from it is to really find out that void that it's causing you inside, and being that for yourself, finding that for yourself, filling that spot yourself. And I guarantee, once you find a way to fill, I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. Once you find a way to fill that spot for yourself, the other person will probably reach out, and you might not care anymore. That's what I'm getting out of this, Scorpio. By the time this person reaches out, you will have already figured out what it is you need to do to move on from them. Right now there's struggle, because the struggle is a little bit of hope. So what I would have to say is, if you're holding on to that hope, because I'm not telling you to walk away or to stay with the person, what I'm saying is, are you hoping for what was, or are you hoping for what is? Because people change. And I'm telling you, you can't have what once was. So if you feel like you can accept what is, and that's the hope that you're holding on to, that's a good thing. But if the hope that you're holding on to is to have what was, it's just not there. And by the time you fill that void, the other person will reach out, and you won't care. And then they'll go through all of this. Scorpio, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I will see you next time.